Respect,
Great work.
Appreciate it.
Great work.
That was good.
We're gonna train again. Easy.
There is a saying, I would say, there's a saying that a happy fighter makes a dangerous fighter, in the sense that if you put them in the right environment and their brain is receptive of what they're being taught, they're going to be more in tune with what they're going through.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
So I'm actually like, give me more, give me more, give me more.
That's his mindset in everything he does, whether it's training, whether it's work, whether it's helping other people.
With only a few days left until fight night, Anthony Joshua has fully locked in, and everything coming out of his camp points to a man treating this bout with absolute seriousness.
You know, so I use YouTube a lot, where there's a lot of videos what I listen to, and I update it, and I can always revert back to it when I'm feeling low to get that bit of motivation. Fear comes in many forms. There's some things that I can't get over and I'll always be scared of, but I take the positive from it. Like, I'm never so confident I'm gonna win. It's probably the fact that I'm scared to fail.
Coaches aren't meant to understand that you're tired. Coaches aren't meant to understand that you have emotions. Coaches are just supposed to look at you like you're a machine, and they just want results. I may be tired, but I just got to bite down on my gum show, because if I can perform to an elite level when I'm tired, imagine what I can do when I'm at rest and when I've got energy. I've been through them days where I'm looking for sympathy and you just don't get it in sport, where you don't get it. I always knew there could be the most talented fighter out there, especially in our industry. If they can't sell tickets, they can't put bombs on seats, they'll never showcase their skills to the world, no matter how good they are. And that's why I say you have to have marketability and you have to have ability. And when you bring those two worlds together, it's a recipe for success.
The fight night is only days away, and Anthony Joshua looks more focused than ever. Every sign coming out of his training camp shows a fighter entering this matchup with total seriousness, sharp intent, and absolute dedication.
Humble means treat the person who is beneath you in a different class to the same person who's above you in a different class. It's an equal playing field, and we have to treat everyone with the same respect. And that's why, you know, people fight for equality. And I think that's important, and that's why I mix stay hungry and stay humble together in such a fine way that they gel together well. Stay hungry, stay humble.
There's no laid-back energy here, no casual vibe, no showbiz mindset. Just non-stop work as AJ sharpens his conditioning, refines his punching, and sticks to a demanding high-pressure strategy. This isn't about headlines or hype. It's about control, dominance, and making sure nothing is missed once the opening round begins.
Yeah, and again. Good, and again. Good, 2 more. 1 more of them. Good.
You have to find it within yourself. If I've got to tell you to get up, and I've got to tell you to go to work, and I've got to tell you to do everything, then until that person stops telling you, you're never going to be able to achieve anything. So that's the best piece of advice I've been given, is find it within yourself to be motivated. You've been blessed with a brain, heart for emotions, spiritual connection.
Joshua understands how big the moment is, how intense the scrutiny can be, and how sky-high expectations have become. And that's exactly why his mindset has stayed strictly business from start to finish.
There's very clear paths to being able to beat Anthony Joshua. Something about him. I was supposed to fight Gervonta and then go and fight Joshua maybe next year. When Gervonta got into his whole fiasco, Joshua was one of the first names on the list. I would say he's definitely was surprised and maybe thought I was just all talk and not actually wanting to do it and just saying it for hype. I think that's what a lot of people think when I say crazy things like fighting Canelo or Bud or Joshua. So I think he was actually surprised to get the deal done.
As the countdown continues, his camp sends one unmistakable message: AJ isn't cruising. He's pushing at full speed, determined to perfect every detail before stepping through the ropes. On the other side, Jake Paul is also grinding hard, working with bigger sparring partners and improving his movement as he prepares for the toughest fight of his boxing journey.
I don't want to ask you about a prediction for Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua because I think a lot of people know what will happen. But is it dangerous for Jake Paul to be taking on a big heavyweight? You're a heavyweight, man. I wouldn't want to get punched by you here. Is it very dangerous for Jake Paul to be able to take on?
I mean, no matter what it is, it can be an exhibition fight or whatever fight it is. When two guys step over that rope and they got bad intentions or they ready to throw blows, it's always bad. You got to understand that boxing is a dangerous business and the head is not meant to be hit in the first place. Doctors will always tell you the head is not meant to be hit, the body is not meant to be hit, the head is not meant to be, the brain is not meant to be shook.
His confidence hasn't slipped, but the training shows someone who understands what lies ahead. Longer sessions, tighter defense, and constant repetition handling pressure. With only hours left, Jake's camp is focused on readiness, not noise. They know this isn't just another influencer moment. It's a night that will define how real his boxing career truly is.
If AJ was fighting an area level heavyweight now, it wouldn't go beyond a round. I'd expect AJ to get rid of him, let alone AJ being 40 pounds heavier. The Americans look at AJ slightly different to how we do. They look at him as someone that's washed up. When he was in their country, he got beat by Andy Ruiz, who's not gone on to do anything. If Andy Ruiz went on to have this glittering career, then it maybe would have made that defeat look a lot bigger. They watched him recently get defeated by Daniel Dubois. They think he's done. So they don't have respect for him maybe the way we do over here. So Jake thinks he can win. I've been around Jake and he's delusional, but he's very strong-minded. So he thinks he can win, but there's no way this should go beyond 3 minutes.
Who's the A side? Who walks into the ring first?
AJ walks into the ring first, so Jake Paul's the ace.
As Jake Paul's camp increases intensity in these final stages, the wider boxing world has also sharpened its focus, with Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Ade Oladipo breaking down the fight on TalkSport as a mix of spectacle and serious consequence. With the bout just days away in Miami, the panel recognized its huge commercial appeal while questioning how it was sanctioned, pointing to Florida's history of approving unconventional matchups. Jordan argued that Paul's profile is built more on business power than sporting merit, stressing that while Paul brings views and subscriptions, the skill gap between him and a former unified heavyweight champion is enormous.
I think I heard you mention there are two behemoths involved here. How is Jake Paul a behemoth?
He's a behemoth in terms of his following and in terms of the pulling power he has. He's now, whether hardcore boxing fans want to admit this, he's one of the faces of boxing. And that's saying something. Like, the amount of people that put their hands up to want to fight Jake Paul when they realised the Gervonta Davis fight weren't happening. He can... Like, Alexander Usyk says he wants to fight him. Like, that's the one of the biggest names in the sport. There aren't that many people.
You love this sport, Addy, and you love working in it. Is it an uncomfortable truth, if you like, that Jake Paul is part of the top flight boxing scene?
Dana White shifted the discussion toward financial reality, explaining why elite fighters consider deals like this. Oladipo added balance by crediting Paul for expanding boxing's audience and promotional reach, especially through modern platforms. In the end, all agreed that beyond the hype, this is a real fight with real danger. And if Joshua doesn't beat Paul convincingly, it could disrupt carefully planned future moves. From where we are, and likely where you're watching, the message was clear. Curiosity will drive massive viewership, but once the bell rings, boxing's harsh hierarchy usually reasserts itself.
First of all, we had Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, a tremendous world champion, one of the best boxers of his generation. Apparently, and I don't know if he's serious, but he says that he put £1 million on Jake Paul to knock out Anthony Joshua.
Seriously? Jake Paul chins AJ, yes, they fight.
Serious?
100%. If they fight, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
Now, we know, first of all, that Tyson Fury doesn't really like Anthony Joshua. So maybe he's just saying that. Maybe he's talking shit. Or has he really put £1 million on? Because if he has, I want to see that betting slip. And could you imagine if it came in? I don't know what the odds on Jake Paul knocking him out are, but they're going to be pretty big.
As the TalkSport debate led by Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Ade Oladipo highlighted both commercial impact and regulatory concerns around Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, attention shifted to fighter reactions, especially Michael Bisping. Responding to the growing number of bold predictions favoring Paul, Bisping showed clear disbelief at the idea of Joshua being knocked out by a content creator turned boxer, even while admitting how strange it is that this fight is actually happening. He referenced comments from Tyson Fury, who said he'd back Paul to score a knockout, and Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, who pointed to Joshua's past stoppage losses as proof of vulnerability.
Anthony Joshua to have to dance around the ring, get on his bike, play cat and mouse, dancing around, picking shots and stick and move. No way. Remember what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia? He stood there, toe to toe, waited for the opening, threw a right hand. It was like absolute lightning and the power was crippling. Every single right hand that Anthony Joshua threw, he dropped Francis Ngannou, who is a gigantic human being who does have truly one-punch knockout power, as we know.
I need to knock him out.
I like that. So Mighty Mouse, love you, bro, but what on earth are you talking about? Let's carry on.
From Bisping's viewpoint, those opinions stretch logic when weighed against Joshua's Olympic background, championship experience, and proven success against elite heavyweights. While he acknowledged Paul's improvement, power, and willingness to take risks, Bisping framed the growing belief in Paul as evidence of how distorted modern boxing conversation has become rather than a realistic assessment of competitive balance. He went deeper into fundamentals and danger, stressing that Joshua isn't just a big name, but a seasoned heavyweight with speed, timing, and finishing power Paul has never faced. He rejected the idea that Joshua needs to fight cautiously, arguing instead that AJ has repeatedly stood firm and dismantled large, physical opponents. He pointed to the brutal knockout of Francis Ngannou as recent proof.